here now that I am looking at you guys. How amazing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. It is possible for you to record, right?
Yes, I am recording, so mind yourself. Oh my god, guys. So it's late in the night. Where are each one of you right now?
Yeah, so I am in the northern part of the country where it's like severe winters right now. It's very cold here, but yeah, it's doing great.
And I am in Pune. I'm traveling as of now. I just went to Goa and I'm back here. We're
Oh my
composing stuff
god.
and
Goa is lovely. So, welcome everyone. This is La Entrevista for Staying Alive Fest. And I'm Black Amber, and these are our amazing guests that we have today. And Satyajit, Gargori, and Aditya. Okay, I'm always saying it wrong. What is your last name?
it's Oak. It's
Oak. You know, I'm always, every time I read it, the E comes back. Like, I'm here, you have to tell me. It's the same. So,
It's okay, man.
This is from the Indian band Dead Exaltation, and since you guys are from different places, where should we say Dead Exaltation is from?
Yeah, we are primarily from Pune. So
Pune.
it's a city close to Mumbai. So it's basically none of the band members are actually from Pune. That's the fun part. So everyone was like belonged to different cities. When we were like a 5-piece band, like Aditya comes from a city called Nagpur, I come from a place called Lucknow, and Mradul was from Meerut, and the other two ex-members, they were from Delhi, and another, I think, yeah, both of them were from Delhi, I guess, yeah. And so yeah, and nobody's from Pune, but yeah, everybody just happened to be at Pune at the correct time and the correct moment. So yeah, we just formed the band then. Yeah, this was like, I think, 6 years ago. Yeah.
So how did you get together? Since when you've known each other?
So initially, like me and Madhul, we used to jam. Like we used to jam different. We never jammed death metal and all. Like we were into a different zone before. Then as Satyajit said, like Shorjo and Anish, these guys were there. They were looking for a drummer basically. I went and jammed with them.
You didn't know them at the time?
No, it was just like a random, kind of
like
jam.
We're looking for a drummer.
Yeah, just ask it out on Facebook. Like I'm, looking for a drummer, and I'm a drummer. I want to jam, and go and jam.
Why not? And were you
Yeah, so
this brutal since the beginning?
yeah, I wasn't knowing that it was, my brutal things journey is going to begin with these guys. So it was like in Pune, we jammed for the first time. And it was a crazy experience, man. I started to play blast beats. I learned blast beats before the jam, and it started that way. I mean, these guys were demanding, and I was ready to give. And after that, Satyajit came into the picture. I mean, we were looking for vocalists then. We teamed up. Even Mradul was well versed with them. They were well versed with us, and then I met him with few other guys for another jam because they were also looking for a drummer.
Yeah. So I was jamming with a few people,
hanging around.
So this is how you ended up in being like
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like I was looking for other people. I was looking for a band to join at that moment of time, and I found these guys. I just wanted to be like, hey, I want to go up on stage and scream my heart out.
Until then, you hadn't sing in public in a band before?
No. I was that. Dead Exaltation is my first band. Like
so
before that, like yes.
When does the Satyajit singer or growler started?
So it was like I started listening to metal at a very late, like I was in, I think in I was 16 or 17 when I started actually figuring out what exactly is metal. So I really developed the taste for it, and I was like, hey, I want to do this. I want to make music. I want to maybe like do vocals, because yeah, I found it like very attractive. So I shifted to Pune for my college and met a few people, and I jammed with them, but it didn't work out. But then I found a few more people from my college who were looking for a vocalist then, and we jammed. Then it was like a groove metal band. But and I asked Aditya then if he can, if he's interested in playing drums. So that thing never happened. But Aditya was like, "Hey, we are looking for a vocalist, and we are looking for a death metal." And I was like, "Hey, I want to do death metal. I listen to a lot of death metal. Yeah, yeah, let's do this." So we were like, I went to his place once, and we jammed, and it worked out very well.
Wow.
So
So
since then,
Aditya is like, he's like, not now, Aditya, but soon.
yeah. So it was also
Eventually, we'll end up together. Don't worry.
yeah, something or some way or the other. Yeah. So it came out very well. Like the best part about this thing was like I was able to find like-minded musicians and also dedicated who are actually interested in making something, like who are serious about it. Like till then I was meeting people who are like, hey, I play guitars and I want to make a song but not exactly want to form a band and release music. So the best thing was like meeting them and like knowing ki, hey, these guys are actually interested in doing this. So it worked out pretty well for me.
And so you started as a band formally about 6 years ago.
Yeah, so fun part, we completed 6 years yesterday.
Oh my God, where's the cake?
I really wish we could have done that, like with all of us together.
If you could
Yeah.
have met, yeah.
Uh,
And
But the band did meet with obstacles in its development.
yeah, I mean, over the course of these years, like we had Shorjo, the other guitarist, leaving us in the year I think 2016 or 17. So then we were like four piece. We were playing four piece band with Mradul on guitars and Anish on bass and Aditya on drums and vocals. But then Anish decided to move to Delhi. So he said he wants. So he's like, I can't manage it. So I'm like, okay, fine. So then he
Yeah,
moved out.
not like
So
you can stop him, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's his decision. So like, okay, fine, okay. But so he moved. So he left the band. That was in 2018, and then we were playing three piece band, and we couldn't
But
find a bassist, so we had
so you were
to. Hmm,
the singer, guitarist, and drummer.
yes.
And by that time, what was your playlist like?
So
What were you offering at the time, and were you already playing concerts?
yeah, so by that time we were like our setlist was ready. All the songs in the album were ready by then. So this is I'm talking about 2018, 2019. So we were ready with everything. Now since we couldn't find a bassist, so Mradul started recording the bass, and we so this is a thing in Pune. So every other band in Pune, sometime or some way or the other, ends up with a laptop on stage. Some way or the other. Is it
It's a
either
thing.
some, yeah, it's a thing about
because
Pune bands.
members vanish
Yeah, because
So
suddenly.
it's like you don't need to ask where the band is from. When you go to a concert, there are five bands. The band that has a laptop on,
yeah,
they're
there has to be a laptop on stage, and which will be playing a click track or maybe a synth section. For some bands, a proper guitar itself. But for us, it was playing the bass guitars. So yeah, so that's how we were managing. We did shows in 2019, some like that. We did 3 shows, and 2019 is when we recorded the album like properly. We had initially recorded in 2018, but it was not sounding it good. It was not sounding good, and we were like, let's do it again. Let's do it with proper resources and everything.
Did you do like a community producing, or was somebody taking on the responsibilities of producing the album?
Yes, yes. So we have a friend Akash Sherpa from Anomaly Sound Designs. So we got him down to Pune, and
I think
Aditya
I know him.
Yeah, yeah.
he's from the band called If Hope Dies.
He also
Okay.
makes skill count actually,
Yeah, I
so
know
you
him.
know him.
I think so.
Yeah. So we got him down,
Shout
and
out to Sherpa.
so we got him down, and we recorded drums with him. Akash was handling he recorded the drums, and in the meanwhile, Radul was recording the guitars at his home. It's with like DIY, full DIY. I recorded my vocals in the same way, full DIY. We had an SM57 mic, and the
The
we couldn't
cupboard.
manage a studio then, because I was doing my work in the morning, day job in the morning, and then in the night I'm recording. So what we could do
Okay.
is just record at his own house inside an almirah with all those with t-shirts as soundproofing. So yeah, that's how we recorded the vocals, and then later on we recorded the bass
You
properly.
know,
And
that's pretty standard. If you ask
yeah,
around,
yeah, actually,
the closet get a lot
yeah,
of
the closet,
action.
yeah. Yeah, so
Actually,
anyway,
we ended up with what sound we wanted, and whatever we were getting, we were kind of happy. Even Akash was happy,
mm,
and we were actually getting to the point that okay, the raw mixes sounding really really great, and his vocals were sounding super amazing. I mean, we all digged it really really well. I mean, we never expected, but yeah, it all happened like that.
wow.
Okay, there's a topic
Not in that way, but
for
yes. I
later.
mean, I mean, the
There's-
sound was like
there's
I said, the sound was different. I mean, because of the setup. I mean, all was dry and stuff, and we all love that. The kind of raw, vocals, it generated and all that.
I'm anticipating there's like a band discussion happening after the interview. Like, what do you say? Like surprisingly that I sounded surprisingly good.
Totally.
Nothing like that. Yeah, we always tease each other. Like there's no end to it.
but no, but really, Satyajit, do you try like, let's see how deep I go today, or do you try
Yes.
to record like the minute you open your eyes in the morning? It's like you don't speak, you like just go immediately to the mic. Like it's very it's full. It's a very full sound. Like
So what I do
or
is
it's a lot of your own technique.
so I have a very like a different tech approach to it. Not exactly a very different approach. It's like a lot of vocalists in the country, they use fry screams. They approach with the fry screams because they have listened to
Hello.
they have started
Yes.
listening to metal by following bands like Lamb of God, Pantera, and all, which has a lot of fry vocals in them. In the initially, like I'm talking about this in 2005, 6 times. While I grew up listening to a lot of death metal in general, I never got into this. So my approach to that was like, hey, I want to do false chords, which is like it's a very different. It's a little different. Here the vocal cords are a little wider, but it has a lot of intensity to it. So
Where are you getting your techniques from?
it's all internet.
Yeah, well, the internet is there. If it's not even,
Yeah.
it has not been invented.
So yeah, I learned
You're
from the
taking
internet.
advantage from that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, and the only thing that I do just before the recording is I do this steam inhalation kind of a thing. So it just clears up your entire throat and entire internals, like your throat, lungs, and everything is just clean. So when I just go for recording, it just gives me so much power to like push it. So it just
Wait. So
Okay.
you warm up like in clean vocals, or you do something else? Or have you ever tried to sing in clean vocals? And will there ever be clean vocals in Dead Exaltation? I don't see it, but yeah.
So I did give it a shot. I was trying the clean vocals part a few years ago, but it was not working out. I mean, like, I needed more practice because I couldn't, like, you can't, this clean vocals is something just you can't just have it in a month or two. So I was practicing it, but I didn't never really felt that clean vocals could be part of the band. But maybe in some way or the other, it could in the future records, if any, it could fit in. Maybe it's more probably it would be more like a old school heavy metal kind of a sound in terms of vocals, but not the modern clean vocal sound. But yeah, probably that kind of sound I would go for in the band, but not really. I'm
I mean,
looking.
we all were very experimental. I mean, all the time. I mean, we
Yeah, I
have
wanted
had.
to ask you, like, how can push you, each one of you as how do you find that Dead Exaltation pushes your boundaries, if it does?
Yeah, so we had compositions coming from both the guitarists actually, Shorjo and Anish, and both of them had different influences. Me and Nadal together had jammed, so we used to jam on progressive music and all that, like odd time signatures and stuff. So we used to write some technical parts. But then, as death metal came in our life because of Dead Exaltation, not Dead Exaltation, but jamming with these guys, then we molded those songs in a way. Now some of these songs, some newly composed, some by editing parts, and so we came into that sound. I mean, in the zone, like we said that yes, it's like we are getting closer to the sound, and jamming, all that composing, and we used to jam like 4 times a week also sometimes in the nights, like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. like weird timings.
So you
Because
didn't
these
have
guys used to
neighbors,
go to
or you
office.
made everybody move out of the neighborhood.
No, not like that. It was a studio actually, again an on, and these guys, Shorjo and Anish, initially used to stay in on. So what happened is like we used to go from our place to their place, and their office timings were like that. Their office used to get over at 12 o'clock and like in the midnight and or 1 a.m. or something. So after that we used to jam, and these guys were also like we used to like push them, come on, get ready, man, get ready. I mean, we used to end up over there because after a job, I mean, everyone is tired. I mean, I totally get that after doing a full day job or something.
Yes, of
So
course.
yeah,
And
So-
it also
Music.
in
helped.
this way we started figuring out our sound.
It kind of this pushing it kind of also helped them in a way that they were at the end of the day looking forward to that jam. Okay, we had a tiring day at work. Okay, but I just want to just go home and pick up my guitar and just jam with the guys. So
Goes both ways. But
which
it's
became
very
quite a
organic, so it can be exhausting as well. Like you
yeah.
enjoy it, but it's something that is also demanding because you want to do it well. You
Yes.
don't want to half-ass it.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah,
Exactly.
every in the initial years, like, everybody really pushed it. Like, when we were five-piece band, everybody pushed it. Like, we used to travel with so much gear to like different extreme corners of Pune, just so that we could have like proper jam sessions, have a discussion of ideas, and like lyrically whatever, like themes or anything, whatever ideas that we want to discuss. So yeah, I mean, that I think that 1 a.m. jams really push the band's music to a lot, like, creatively. Yeah.
Cross motivation kind of
Yeah.
stuff to one
So
another.
how do you come across the lyrics?
Yeah.
It's
So
like, yeah,
The best part.
because
I have been writing.
I can't really have like an idea. I couldn't tell me. How does
So I have
that?
been writing gore since, I don't know, like, for quite a few years. I think it's almost like 7, 8 years now. So
So it's like this stuff is funny. I laugh at this gross stuff all the time. So let me do this seriously for
yeah.
the band.
So we were like, hey, so before writing gore, I was heavily into like writing some psychological stuff, but it just never, I just never could write it much better. So I switched to gore, and then I started writing, and over the years it became like a decent enough, would pass as lyrics. So then when we met the first few jams, so Aditya was very adamant ki, hey, we want something brutal. So like, okay, let's write something brutal. So I came up with so we have one song which is actually not in the album. It was the first song that we wrote. It's called Fallacy. So I wrote like a gist of uh, a prison, that hey, where all of this brutal stuff happens. So that was this fallacy, and then everybody kind of like digged the theme, and we're like, hey, let's do this. I think we can work more on this. And then slowly and slowly we formed the entire lyrical like theme. We wrote the story behind. I wrote the story behind it, where all we fit in, and how good it would sound, and turned out everybody liked it. So yeah, that's how we went ahead with the idea. Ki, hey, let's talk about a prison.
And
Out of
it's
nowhere.
but you
It's actually that, yeah.
whatever he said. Yeah. But do you explore other topics, not just gore, or are you just
Yeah.
and the topic more is coming up?
So personally, like I I usually don't write lyrics until unless I just feel motivated to write something. So
Okay.
usually, whenever I'm writing, I just write about so till then I've written only for Dead Exaltation, so that's how like I have written gore. But sometimes I just sit around. Maybe I listen to a lot of other genres besides metal. So like I listen to a lot of synthwave. I listen to a lot of 80s pop. So sometimes I write about that, like
Okay,
something
what the
very.
hell is wrong with you? No,
I mean,
not
like,
putting it down. It's very interesting, and I'm a little. I'm thinking that what if that seeps in into the band a little bit?
no, I don't think that. I mean, I think just listen to this kind of music just to get, like, I can't listen to death metal constantly. Like, I need a break sometimes. Okay, I need something a little lighter. I need something more
No
chill.
Bollywood.
No, 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 no. Bollywood is something that
I like Bollywood.
is this
I know. I know your soundtracks.
so Bollywood is something that we feel like it's just not my music. I think
Yeah, it's like Disney
everybody,
sometimes.
yeah,
It's
everybody
all about
digs,
mood. I mean, whatever
yeah,
mood one has. If you want to like
everybody
feel like
digs
dancing, then
70s
yeah,
and
you can dance
80s
on Bollywood
Bollywood.
very well.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there's gotta that's a glass you guys have in Bollywood. I mean, there's gotta be room for metal in Bollywood. It's ridiculous that with so much to exploit,
hmm.
they're
So
profiting from
it's
it.
Bollywood nowadays, in the early days, it was very experimental. If you listen to 70s and 80s Bollywood, it there was a lot of experimental music happening. Like, there was disco in Bollywood. There was so much like there was jazz in Bollywood. A lot of music was there. There was a lot of prog music as well. And after a
Now it's
certain
just
point of
pop.
time, huh? Sorry.
Now it's just pop.
It's not even pop. I don't even know what it is. It's like it's
Wow.
very it's a culmination of everything what is like we dislike. It's like it's basically music made for a certain group of people that who like is. I'll just give you an example. November to Jan is like marriage season in India. So there are a lot of marriages that happen, and
Right,
so
right.
a lot of those films that come out during this season or just before that have a lot of music which can be played like a party music, which can be played in marriages and all, weddings and everything. So a lot of people like so that is how the music is being made for in Bollywood. It's like We
Well,
listened
but
with a
you know
lot of
what?
group.
It is, we're talking. I'm sorry
No,
but
no, yeah.
it's like
Yeah, that's what we-
the interesting thing about how Bollywood, I think, is made is that the the movies are actually soundtrack, music videos. Like you can extract a music video out of a movie, and then of course it's a musical. They just don't call it. You guys just don't call it musicals, but for us it's musical. And
Mhm.
then most of the movies, because now they're changing a little bit, but most of the movies are musical, and therefore when you guarantee like get like weddings, then you keep music from your movie making a buck, even if everybody's
Yes.
already pirated the movie. You know?
So
So
it's
it's,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
Metalheads, we should do that. We should find a way to do that as well. That's
I mean, we have a band in Delhi called Bloodywood who are very
I know
inspired
Bollywood.
by, yeah, they are very inspired by, they're a YouTube
Who's
sensation.
who's in the who's in Bollywood? I think
The
I know. Okay,
So
never mind.
these guys are like a huge YouTube sensation, and they are playing Bollywood inspired metal. They have like uh,
Right, right.
diff-
Yes, of course. Yes.
percussions and everything. So
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
confusing it with another band. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Also blood
So
stuff.
they, yeah, so they have this thing. I mean, like, uh, it's their brand of music, and a lot of people in Europe, they dig it because it's kind of like, it's, I think for them, I think we all feel that they're a good combination of what Bollywood has and what metal has, and they have made it well. They have made it well to a point that they have generated an audience in abroad. But
Yeah,
uh,
because it's like their metal is good. The product is creative, but why is it
yes,
appealing for the foreign market? If I was in India, it's because it's an entry level. It
yes,
gives me
because
metal, but then it also gives me something that I can that is new to me and that I can find
yes,
appealing
yes,
and attractive. So yeah, it works. It works.
yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know, I might be wrong here, but like, a lot of, not a lot of people here dig so much. I mean, like, at least because Bollywood is not something that this every metal head in this country digs, because I don't know. It's just that it has never been like, it has now become very monotonous, and it's not, there's no room for experimentation in Bollywood. So we just feel like, hey, I think it's done. I mean, let's go. I mean, like, it's not like there are no good Bollywood songs coming out. There are good Bollywood songs coming out. It's just that mm, we don't really dig that much, so it gets ignored. Yeah.
No, it's
and
fine.
especially we like to stay in our zone. I mean, if I want to play death metal in the morning, I need to see John Longstrength playing 300 BPM on his double bass using heel toe, so I get kind of stuff. So that kind of vibe we create all day and night. And in night, yeah, as he said, like we end up with some calm music because yeah, everyone likes to sleep in peace, so that the next morning becomes again the same one. So yeah.
Well, there's that for Bollywood, which you are not bringing into your musical landscape, which is perfectly understandable. um, but you were speaking about the songs that you listen to or that you enjoy outside of metal, and that they don't necessarily go into your inspiration for Dead Exaltation. And what about you, Aditya? You like to listen to or jam to when you're not?
Hello, I couldn't get your last sentence. Actually, like I do personally, like I do a lot of stuff except death metal as well. So, like personally, I'm growing differently as a drummer as well as I love my love for metal. That is, I'm always crazy about death metal as well. So that is what my personal stuff is going on. Whatever I mean, we see of one another. So and his is like he's more of a listener. I mean, he's more into composing. So that I mean he can explain better. I mean what he does with that stuff.
I mean,
Okay.
it's more like I listen to there's a lot of variety of musics, like, because uh, I just like to keep experimenting. So
Okay.
I heard a lot of bands who play like black gaze. It's basically mix of shoegaze and black metal. One of the good bands that I came across is this band called Holy Fawn. So which is
Okay.
it's very, it's like uh have you heard of post rock? It's like post rock meeting elements of black metal. So you have like good reverb guitar sections, but in the back the vocalists like screaming, and which I found is something like, hey, this is, I dig this. Maybe in the future, maybe we could incorporate something like that. So yeah, I mean, like, it's just that inspirations, like, you can get from anything. Like, I wrote a song when I was sitting
Yeah.
inside like a bus. I was like, hey, out of nowhere, I just got, hey, that's a nice idea. Let me just type it down in my phone note section. Let me just note it down. So yeah, I mean, like, inspiration comes from anywhere. So yeah, the only thing that we all as a band, we have always approached is that we never actually listen to any kind of music before writing, because that affects your writing. It's like, if you are going to a jam, we are not listening any music before 2-3 hours before that. Or we are like, if I'm writing lyrics, I'm not listening at least 2-3 hours before that any form of music, because it's just that when you listen to any form of music before that, that thing is in your head and you end up
Right.
writing somewhat similar to that. It's just a thing that,
Yeah, that can
so
happen. I mean, you can be influenced, of course.
yeah, yeah. So is this that we don't want to, that's one thing that we have maintained, that it's very strict, like, hey, just not listen to any music before going into the jam room, because I don't know, it's just somehow will affect it. Yeah. So
There's something here. Okay. So I really want to go into the new album.
yes.
It's freaking brutal. It is brutal.
that
It's,
was the response. Like we wanted,
yeah, that's
we went
what
through
we're
it and
going
we said
for.
it.
You were going for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, we wanted to have and like we wanted to put something out there which has, like, people dig it a lot, and we didn't wanted to like we didn't wanted the album to go ignored in the scene. So, like, whatever we had from our end, from our resources, whatever we could, we pulled it off. Like, we put in whatever resources we could. We have a lot of people helping us out with the album, right from doing artwork to doing
You know, you can name
merchandise.
everybody. Imagine that you're receiving an award and now you have to thank.
So it's
This
so
goes to.
so the guys from Gutslit, they helped us out. Like, Gurdeep, who plays bass for Gutslit, he helped us out with printing the merchandise and everything. And then we have Aaron, who did the artwork for the album. He also plays for Gutslit. He plays drums there, so he did the artwork. So they have helped us now. Like, people from Kill Count, the guitarist from Kill Count, Laksh, he composed
Yeah.
background score for one of the interlude in the
Oh,
album.
amazing.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah,
we have a lot
he's
of
gone.
people.
He's gone down a track that I'm a little concerned. I need to talk to him.
So
He's
yeah,
He's a mad
embracing.
player. I mean, he's a
he's
mad
a
player.
mad. Yeah.
He's what?
He's mad. I mean, yeah, he's a mad player. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's
Oh
he's a
yeah,
very
you
skilled
know.
guitarist. Yes.
Yeah, and now he's working them pipes. You know, now he's doing the
Yes, yes.
vocals and he's going
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
songs. Next thing Bollywood is gonna go
Yes, yes,
next.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that. I hope metal never dies on that guy because it's really,
Yeah.
really, really real. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like for the album, like we got a lot of help from a lot of a lot of people supporting, like helping us out with gears also, like uh see, Mradul was basically a guitarist. He never had a bass because he plays guitars. Very simple. So we had to ask a few people from the metal scene in Pune if they can lend us a bass. So we got a bass, a good one, to record it. Then we have a lot of other gears, people helping us out with gears so that we could do something, like record the album at a very at certain standards, like so that we could do
So
something
how
some just
long
justice to.
how long did it take to finish the album? And tell me about the challenges you faced, because it's great that you had so much help, and at the same time, why you needed so much help. So what were the challenges that the band was facing in
So
order to get the album done?
I mean, the music
Okay, so first,
was
first
yeah.
sorry,
Haan, bol.
sorry to
Go
interrupt.
ahead.
Yeah,
Somebody go
so
ahead.
first thing, yeah, so like it all starts with getting five people together at a place. That's the first obstacle every band got to face. I mean, getting those five people at one place and think the thinking process should be same. The theme everyone should like. If it's not the same, then you are going to take more than even 6 years to construct an album. If you get that lineup ready, your majority task is done. If you get a lineup ready who's who's going to think as you are thinking, then you can work it out pretty well. Like right now, we are faster than before because it's an
Hmm.
opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Like everything was an experience and opportunity at the same time. So
Great.
it took a lot of time for us to figure out the sound we wanted, the riff we wanted, the kind of playing we wanted. That's about musicality. Then comes about the theme. I mean, Satyajit has helped completely in building the theme of the album. Like whatever you see, you call it, oh, it's so brutal. It's his lyrics because it's sounding very brutal. Uh, but the majority of the time gets into getting to know one another, adjusting with one another, and then constructing a layout. I mean, constructing 8 songs, it just doesn't happen. So right now it might happen faster, but when you begin with it, when you're into an ocean, you are learning the swimming kind of stuff. It takes time, to get
Great.
all this stuff done. So, and especially in death metal, like the genre demands it, and you need to work your ass off to get that demand fulfilled. And if you can't just say that I'm going to play like the complete song in that tempo. I mean, you have to be relentless. If you can't be relentless, you're never going to be called that, oh fuck this guy. I mean, the drummers I
Yeah.
look forward to, the vocalist Satyajit looks forward to.
You have to have that stamina,
So in that
that
kind of zone,
resilience in
yeah,
Yes.
order,
exactly. And
because
it
let's
takes
say that
years
you
to
already have,
get that done.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
So I mean,
I
yeah.
didn't get
So
you.
I wanted to say this, like it took. So the music was ready by 2017. We were ready till by 2017. We were ready. We were doing shows, but then band members started leaving, so we couldn't help it. And for like in the year 2018 was like a bit slow for us because I had to move to a different city, and then when I came back to Bombay, in Bombay, I had a problem with my ear, so we couldn't do
Oh,
shows for a
Oh
good amount of
damn,
time.
that time,
Yes.
dude. Shit, that was fucked up.
We couldn't jam, we
wow.
couldn't do shows. So it was very scared during that time. Like, okay, hey, I want to do this, but what is this? So I mean, like, this is an advice I would like to give to everyone.
Right.
Please invest in good or this thing, uh, earplugs. Please,
The
for if
protective
you are
ears.
going for concerts, you're going for,
You need to
if you play
protect.
in a, yeah, you have to protect your ears. It's very important because when the moment you started hearing whistling noises in your ear, you will understand the importance of the earplugs. It is very important. So
Yeah.
yeah, that 1 year
It
it
is
was very
not
critical.
passion. It's not about
Yes.
passion.
Haunting, man. It's whistling
Ah,
It's
sounds
very,
at night. I mean,
yeah.
so haunting.
It's
yeah.
you, and you'll not be able to sleep properly with all that whistling noise and noise. It's a scary thing. And
Yeah.
because of that, it was like while these guys were recording it, I was not able to be part of that recording. I couldn't do it. So, but
You were
anyway,
scared.
Yeah, I mean, like I was scared. Because the
That
thing
is
is, like,
like
I love.
terrifying. I mean, I
Yeah.
imagine that. I even sometimes I wear these plugs, right? And I
Mm,
don't prefer them because they go
yes.
way in. So for you to regulate the volume, it's tricky.
Yes.
You may not know how high you are. So what
Yes.
I
Yes.
do is that I keep them a little like a door that is ajar.
Yes.
That way
Yes.
I know that there's like for some air going through, kind of like to
Yeah.
cushion
Correct.
the sound.
Yes.
But really, you need to like invest. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to
It's
invest
very
like
important.
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
you need to protect. You know how many bands I hear, I listen to a day. Like
Yes.
everybody's sending
Of
stuff, and I
stuff.
need to sample, and I
Exactly.
need to, it's like using your eyes all the time. But at least your eyes go to sleep.
Yeah.
Ears are never closed.
Yeah.
You cannot
So
close them at will. So you have to be very, very careful. It's
exactly.
very important
Exactly.
that you're addressing that. A lot
Yes.
of
I mean,
people
like
don't even
we.
mind it, and
Yeah,
it's very
people
important.
people they're like, hey, I don't give a damn, let's play music, let's play battle. I'm like, don't get carried away with the idea. Okay, I mean, like, the idea is good, but like, just don't get carried away, because now things are we play a we see we are playing very loud music. It's really really loud, and in the jam room it like really goes high. I mean, the decibel limits go high. I mean, it's better to take precautions, invest in a good earplug, and just put it on stage, and it's good. I mean, it's something that I have shared it with everyone, all of my friends, that you just go for it, because at the end of the day, when you don't want that whistling noise in your ear when you're going to sleep. So that's the thing. So yeah, anyway, so 2018 was that, so we couldn't make the music.
2018, boo!
Yeah.
Right up
so
there with 2020.
yeah. Yeah. so yeah, anyway, so like 2018 was that, and then 2019, that's how when we started the recording properly. We got Akash Sherpa, he recorded the drums, and then again we record the guitars, bass, vocals, and everything. So yeah, 2019 was actually
Also,
very
like in
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah,
sorry
you
to
continue. So
interrupt. So
2000, yeah,
first of all, like Madhul's guitar was recorded twice. So first he did like quad tracking, which was not, the sound engineer was not game with that, so he wanted it in his way because he wanted to reamp and stuff. So I mean, these small things, we had to record drum twice because initially, like we were planning to do it in in a studio, but we were not happy with the sound. But after that, as Akash Shepa was in the scene, I mean, we were really happy how he, made the entire thing sound. We changed the heads and snares and whatever stuff we got, and got at them again at my place. Same thing. So we again cut the cost over there and stuff. So likewise, yeah, we started in 2019 and continue at bro. Like this was like kind of one of the biggest obstacles. Like recording guitars twice, recording drums twice. You are
yes,
saved, and
yeah,
Satyajit, you
yeah.
just
No, even
recorded
for
one.
vocals, like what I used to do is I used to record using my mobile camera, mobile phone, simple like layers, and where all I can put in some more layers where I can structure the vocals in a much better way, something or the other. Which actually it was quite funny for my roommates, because they were like shut up, dude, like it's 2 o'clock in the night, stop doing this. So I have a very bad habit of playing death metal, like super fast technical death metal at 2 o'clock in the night, which was very this thing.
He's
Everybody made
saying,
fun of it. Yeah,
it's like he's
it's
just
my
sleeping and he's at two and he's like, where am I now? This is
yeah. So it's like two.
Necrophages playing.
Yeah, necrophages or something 2 o'clock at night. There's like super fast technical death metal playing. I'm like, what is this? So yeah, but anyway, so the thing was like, um, the drums, the guitars, they were all recorded twice. Vocals, like I was able to record like the structures before itself, to get an idea where all I want the layers. So like when I started recording vocals, I just straightforward recorded it, like, okay, I want this here, this here, like. So I had the clarity in that, so like that was quick. But yeah,
was
2019 was
it your
that.
first experience in the recording studio? And who
Not
else
exactly.
was?
I mean, like
Oh,
before
okay.
this album, I have recorded singles.
Right,
So
right.
no, yeah, but this was the first time I'm recording an entire album. So yeah, I
Cool.
mean, recording 3 songs in a day, it was quite like little bit hectic, but yeah, we were able to manage it. So yeah, I mean that's how 2019 went, and 2020 we just kind of like the first half was just spent in mixing and mastering the stuff and the artwork creation and everything, and the second half we were just focusing on the videos that we had actually put out, and
Yeah, pretty cool.
we were yeah, so we were just working on that, and we were in the end of 2020 we started we were working with our PR, the PR guy. They are called Cover PR. They're from Germany, and they we were discussing with them and like what all we can do, and what was the plan for us. So how we can approach. So we also had like a good discussion. But the main point that what I felt like after all of these like 6 years in this, like I saw a lot of my friends' band releasing music, so I learned a lot of from them, like the mistakes they made. Okay, like this is the thing. Like I saw a few of my like people who have uh, they have set up their pre-orders but sending it like after the 2 weeks after the release or something. So small mistakes which they made, which we kind of like, hey, we should not do this, we learned from them. So yeah, I mean it was so it was quite a learning experience as well. So even it's not like we haven't made any mistakes, so like yeah, but we have made, but like we also learned from them to just to avoid that thing happening with us. So it kind of went well, and right now we have got a good response till now for like the 3 singles that we have
Yeah.
released. Like a lot of our friends, they are digging
A lot of stuff
digging
in
it.
Jan. I mean,
Yes,
a
yes,
lot of stuff.
yeah. Released so much in
Have
Jan. We
you?
had
Are you out of the Indian circle? You feel like you're getting traction internationally?
a little bit, like we a lot of the international web zines are covering it because PR is also pushing. So we got a
Cool.
good response from like
And Black Amber is
internationally.
pushing as well. You
Yes,
know.
yes, yeah,
Of course, I'm not
absolutely.
comparing.
Like
Oh yeah,
no,
Black
absolutely. Like
Amber.
Black Amber is always there for us. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, like we
I'm
got
your
a
friendly bug.
yeah,
Oh yes.
we got a good, like out of nowhere we got a good traction coming from Latin America. It's because some website, uh, RTMB Music or something, like RMTB Music, something like that, they posted a review of our album, and since then we got a very like good traction of this thing onto
Excellent.
our Facebook page. And like even
Yeah.
yeah, Bandcamp plays are also going on. I mean, we have been listening, we have been seeing the stats there. So yeah, things are rolling. I mean, it's anyway, we are still on our first release.
It's a long
So yeah,
process. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a long
The
process. I
planet
mean,
still rolls further. I mean, won't
yeah,
like just
it's
end
just
over
like
here
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
it's just started. Like you release singles, and
mm,
when is it gonna be the actual? It's an EP, right?
it's an album. So the release date is on fifth of Feb.
Wait. So how many tracks are we talking about, and how many singles are you gonna release? Or are you gonna release everything?
S- So before the release, we have released it. We were planning to release 3 singles, and we have done.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we like the album is out on 5th, and we it has 9 tracks, which includes one intro and one interlude.
5th
Uh,
of Feb.
5th of Feb. So yeah, it's barely 10 15 days now. So it's gonna come out, and very soon we'll have a like a surprise for everyone. There's a thing happening on 2nd Feb, so watch out.
And we're
So
damn
Okay,
excited.
when
I
is
mean,
this?
for
Wait. When is this interview? Oh, damn it! This interview is gonna be released before that, so you can't right now. Okay, send me a text message, okay? I need to
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not a
So,
big thing.
well,
It's not it's just a small thing, but it's just like it's a big thing for a new band, for a band that is releasing debut. Yeah, for a
yeah,
debut
it's
album.
nice.
Yes.
Well, we are toying with a weak site because I don't want to like right now, but I definitely need a website, so we're doing that. So
Yes.
I'm telling you to remember to send me like your press notes and your news and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna open like a new news section in the Music First radio show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we can start releasing it in English as well. It takes time for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool, that things are taking shape so nicely.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
what is despondent for you?
Sorry.
What is despondent? Why despondent, and how does it relate to the album content? Or how?
So, s- when we started writing music, we kind of felt like we wanted to show the basic idea of how people in like how people lose hope, and uh just people are helpless. We can't do anything at one point of time. We all push it, but after a certain point of time we feel helpless, and that's the thing that we wanted to discuss about in the album, and we kind of build a story around it. But the main idea of it was to discuss like how hope at one point of time, maybe for a lot of people dies, but how do we manage it, how do we survive it, how to push it. So that was the basic idea of it. And the album
So basically, before this,
Really,
what
that was the
happened?
basic
So,
idea? Because I'm
sorry to
thinking of
interrupt
a single that
again.
has nothing to do with that.
No, so
No,
if you
no,
check
no,
out
no,
the
no. That
song, if
it's
you
all
check out the
theme based,
song.
and
Yes.
Go ahead.
it's all
Yeah, so
based on me and Nadal starting.
hmm,
Like how we started. Like he used to take. Nadal was a guy who used to play rag and all this stuff. So why this all helplessness and kind of hopelessness kind of ideas here? So I used to dig the diminished chords he used to play. I mean, I used to completely get mad over what the heck is this? These chords are ringing so well. I mean, I've always been listening happy and sad and all this. Oh, fine, these are mood changers, swingers, and all that. But that diminished chord, I was like, man, this is this is sounding something else, right? He used to swing between the modes and stuff. So we start jamming over that and getting that into death metal is like you're feeling the negative shit, but you're parting over it with death metal music. It's like for me, it's that, and for Satyajit, it's like completely he has composed it to theme based, but it's all started with merging that kind of a blackened sound with death metal and making it a bit juicy
yes.
with all that material together.
And more
And yeah, that
importantly,
exaltation, you know the meaning.
yeah,
Oh,
and it was like, so we wanted to discuss the idea of people losing hope, and how it's how I'll tell you an example. Like, so Omnium was the one which we released few days ago. So this song actually talks about a prisoner who somehow manages to escape from that dreadful prison, run through the jungles, and like he finds a cabin there, and he like hides there. But he knows in the back of his head that, hey, these the guards of those prison, they will find him, and they will force themselves on him. So he's like he's facing that huge dilemma in his mind, and he is like full in anxiety and like challenge. He's facing all that extreme human emotions, because he knows that death is right in front, and like, how do I manage that, how do I this thing? So he is hopeless, and he's trying to battle it. But the thing that he was able to do is like give out some hints so that that prison could be found. So yeah, like, it's a very we are trying to push the message, but it's not exactly like fully spread out, like very, we are not open about it. It's just casually, like, we have built a story, and hey, this we are just talking about extreme human emotions, that's it.
right.
And it's like, people are they can
With
infer
utmost
whatever,
brutality.
they can deduce whatever they want, but it's just that we want to talk about hopelessness in a way that, I mean, I have personally in my early days like have faced a lot in those situations, but yeah, I was able to push and manage all of that. So yeah, I mean,
Or yeah.
it's this like I think everybody in their life have faced at certain point of time like hopelessness, but we all conquer through, and like that's what we have to put we have to want to put it ki, like hey, we can all conquer some way or the other. So yeah.
So that's like the ultimate message from the album. You actually have a package to
Yeah, I mean,
for people to push
yeah,
through the obstacles and the challenges.
yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, I mean that like, but again
There are
that
like
brutal element
several
comes.
messages in
Aditya,
several
are you
songs, man.
aware of this?
I mean,
What?
there are several messages in several songs. If you go through the lyrics, if you happen to,
Hmm.
Mm,
get a CD or something, get read the
Yes,
booklet, then you will come to know that each song is, giving a certain message revolving around the theme hopelessness, helplessness, and
yes.
you know, and you'll find a
yeah.
storyline like from song one. I mean, even musically as well as lyrically towards the end. So it's
So there is a, but it's not a concept album, but
No,
somehow
it's
they relate
it
to
is a
one another.
concept
it is a
album,
concept. It's a themed album.
but it's
Ah,
just the point that we want to put forth is hopelessness, and that's
okay.
the entire overall message. I mean, we to be honest, I don't want to give like this thing that hey, this album talks about love, this album talks about this. I'm like, people are people have their choice, they can deduce whatever they want. Our message is our storyline was
If
it's
you
like
want to feel lovey dovey, hearing this, you know, why?
we have a song by the way which has a very people have been telling us, oh, it's a very romantic ending. I was like, what? So like so like okay, but yeah, I mean, that's not the whole point. The whole point was like to bring forth, like we want to talk about like prison brutality, and
People,
yes,
people.
yes, and
You
it's
can
hopeless.
never,
Yeah.
All right. So
And
who
that
are the
part,
band
which
members
is
now?
like
Oh yeah,
the
go ahead.
romantic part. Oh, sorry. So that part, which was the romantic part, which people talk about, is actually it talks about the happiness that the warden feels after he eats or cannibalizes his prisoner. So this is what we are trying to explain in form of happiness, which people find romantic, and the happiness that someone feels psychologically. So that's how it all revolves
Okay.
around that theme. So it's all theme
Okay.
based. Everything goes like that. Once you get the lyrics, you come to know. I mean, it's all that you need to know the lyrics.
Yeah. So definitely gotta check out for the lyrics
Yes, yes.
in order to get more of what's
Absolutely.
behind the new album of Dead Exaltation. So okay, so do tell me about who are the band members now.
I mean, we are the two of us now. So
I
we
thought
were
it was
five piece.
a third
20.
2020 was
musketeer.
a heck of an year.
What?
I said 2020 was heck of an year for like us.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I
lost
mean,
our dear
Radul
bandmate.
met with an
So
accident, so he passed away in March. So that was
His memories never forget.
yeah. I mean,
He
like
lives on. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
exactly.
that guy has written literally 5 albums, not just with D, but like he wrote an album with Kill Count, he wrote an album with us, he wrote one his solo album, like a normal like an acoustic progressive acoustic album, and then he has written one death metal album for himself, and then he has written one album with Aditya's another band Shwa. I mean, like that guy was he was a very dedicated musician, and it was like a big hit on us, but I mean, life has to go on. We have to manage, so we are
Did
just
you do
pushing
you
through.
did you think did it go through your mind? Because I can see that Satyajit, you are very committed to the idea of the band. Like seriously
Mhm.
focused. I'm not saying that Aditya is not, but I'm saying that I've
Yeah,
noticed
we all are.
Yes, yes.
I've noticed that you said like the band, other members of the band started going away, and yet you did move to another city, but for you, you didn't go away from the band. So it's like I see that there's a mindset in you. So I'm wondering if the passing of Rado, it was very heavy on me, and I never met him personally. and that's why I for some reason have not been able to fully say goodbyes. I've been doing it like sporadically, more praising his memory than focusing on the
Yes.
fact. Uh, and that means that I can only imagine uh, what that meant for you. So did you think that the band should not go on? And or did you have a moment, both of you, that you thought that maybe not be doing this
No,
anymore?
I would like to say over here that another, like, we three of us, we, like, whatever were the circumstances, we all fought together, like, whatever is the case. I mean, even if a band member leaves, even if, like, there is no, whatever is there, whoever is there, the band must survive. I mean, whatever happens to any one of us, the band should go on further. I mean, we were the believers of that. It's not that Madhul is not there, so the band, uh, it is an obstacle for us. This one is the biggest obstacle of for us that we are still facing. I mean, but we know truly that we all believed in this one point, that there is something upcoming, that we can do something, work out something. So now we have a space for a new sound. I mean, uh, because we are in the void as of now. So we are already in the thought process. We are already constructing parts, and getting them together and working off with few people in our mind, and maybe auditioning and so on. And there are few plans. I mean, but you all will get to know online. I mean, Facebook and stuff. So uh, even like in the world, we need like few more discussions to get further to a point where we know that what we are going to do. Uh,
The
but
point is
yeah,
that if we discontinue, all of this will just be forgotten in a few months, and we don't want to happen that. We don't want that to happen. So I mean, yeah, if we, I mean, it's a we. I mean, to be honest, like Mradul, I and Aditya, we share a very big, like a very good chemistry. And like for the past, at least for the past 3 years, that we had a very good bonding. And it's been a very tough time doing the. I mean, like v- he left us when we had just started the mix and master, so it was
Right.
very different. Like we so Aditya is a drummer, I'm a vocalist. We don't have any knowledge about guitars and how it should sound. So thankfully, like what the guy, the Akash, who mixed an album, he was able to understand the sound that we were trying to push, and he could help us out. But yeah, things have been like a little bit heavy on our end also, like considering how we managed to pull it off. We were lagging, but somehow we were able to push it. And yeah, I mean, it was a bit different. It was very difficult, like going through all of that, because
Right.
when we started working on the promotional aspect, or when we started working on like a basic thing like designing the booklet of a digipack, we had to go through all of those pictures that we had taken during our photo shoot. We had to go through a lot of the things, and it was kind of tough, but okay. I mean, we have to do it. I mean, we had to do this, so
we have
anyhow.
to overcome
So
it. I mean,
yes,
Yeah.
music shall stay alive. I mean,
yes,
always.
it should not be forgotten that that was the whole
Oh,
point
so
of
yeah,
this.
staying alive. We all are
Yes.
staying alive.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
There's sadness there, and at the same time there's gratefulness. It is challenging, and I
Correct.
am glad that everyone that was related to Rattle and his music assumed the responsibility of bringing it forward. You
Yeah.
know, after his
Yes.
typical departure from this plane. And well, lastly, next? Um, what is next for you? Are there going to be uh, concerts opening up? You're going to be looking for musicians. What's going to happen?
So, I mean, that's the thing that we were discussing today itself, me and Aditya, what is the store. So, the thing is, like, India is a very crowded place. So, it's doing shows here. It's a bit risky. But yeah, maybe in the coming few months, we could if the things go well, and like if venues started opening properly, we plan to do a small tour across the country, and
Right?
maybe go to our neighboring countries, maybe Nepal, Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka, whatever is feasible. And let's see, and hopefully if this album uh, does well, maybe in the future we want to do we would like to do tours across Europe, UK, or maybe Southeast Asia, or whatever is feasible for us. So yeah, I mean, let's see. It's a future. It's in the future. We don't really know what happens, but we have to work for it. So
Right.
yeah, that's the whole
And also we
notion
are
of that.
like believers in like one point. Both of us, like, we are going to keep creating the music.
Yeah.
I mean, um, with who and what, that you guys are
Mm.
going to get to know very soon. But the tour stuff and all. Right now, it's all, Right now we are not planning to get that done, like, because it's, as you said, it's like very risky,
Mhm.
and it's not opened up, and people are just doing it and not getting any return through that, and so that scene is dead as of now. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can compose, we can think
Of course.
about our future music. So that's what is the plan as of now. And
Yes.
tours and stuff, it's all on and off, goes on and off. It will happen when it is going to happen.
Right
Correct.
now, the main important thing is Despondent. That's
Yes.
the most important
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Yes.
Also, we have post-release stuff which we are planning, which
Yes.
um, we
Which
are
we will
planning
find
to.
out in due time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now as jam rooms are opening, like in India, like they are everything is like okay now as of now. So jam rooms and this thing, studios basically. So we are planning to record drum playthroughs and stuff. So we'll be coming with
Excellent.
that really
Yes,
soon.
that sounds like a plan.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. So
I really wish you much success. If there's anything on the side of Black Hammer that we can do to bring you guys further along in your success, in your path towards success, of course, we're going to be there, uh,
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
supporting you.
Yes.
So this has
Likewise.
been.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We have been speaking today with Satyajit Gargori and Aditya Oak.
yes. So by the end of the interview, my surname is correct.
Correct.
Yes, finally, after like 2 years.
Okay, I'd just like to add one thing over in the, like,
Go ahead.
I guess we are at the end of the meeting. But the like Despondent is available as in CDs and just digital download. We are not making it available on Spotify because we believe in the culture that to buy merchandise, to buy stuff, to support the
Of
artists
course.
and the bands. No, stay old school. I mean, that's what it is.
Exactly. So
Yes.
support. This is Dead Exaltation from Pune, and definitely a brutal act that has a lot more coming. And right now we're focusing on Despondent, their new release. And definitely go support them, stream it, and most importantly, buy their merch and their album, enjoy it, and get to know them. Thank you guys so much for sharing this night, morning with
Same here.
me.
Same
I'm Julie
here.
from Black Amber.
It's perfect.
Same. Same.
It's
Thank
been
you for
a pleasure.
having us. Thank you for having us in the
Yeah,
Been a
call.
pleasure. Thank you guys, and have a good rest of the evening. We'll see each other again soon.
Sure, sure, sure. Have a nice
absolutely.
day. Bye
Stay
Thank you,
bye.
metal.
Julie. Thank you, Black
Thank
Amber.
you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Black
Much
much,
Amber.
love from
guys.
India.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
You guys are amazing. Well, I thank you so much for coming back and
Yes.
putting up with me. I am always a handful of questions. Sometimes I have to hold myself
Yes.
back, and it's like I get to interview. It's like I have the so it's like, you know.
Yes. This
Yeah.
thing. Going into
Hello.
calls with my office folks like this.
What?
It's like my everyday this stuff going into calls with my office, recording meetings like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, let's talk about this application. This is how you do it. Okay, okay. So every day.
Yeah, it's like I'm very grateful for our internet technicians around the
Yes.
world. I
Yes.
I wouldn't really like the idea to go through a pandemic like they did 100 years ago. So
Yes.
something to be grateful for. So that's you work in tech.
Yeah, I design web pages and websites and I write codes and things like that.
So we have a techie here, and we also have a drummer whose classes I've
Yes.
already uh, announced.
Full time. Full time. I mean, ready to
Full-time
drum
musician.
all
Yeah,
time.
so well, there you go. If anybody needs the services of a shrewd drummer and an even shrewder techie guy to do your pages and stuff,
Yes.
these are your guys. 11:15. So you have like 2 minutes for the loop.
Okay, okay.
Yes. I mean, it's not
Okay.
going to be too much longer,
We'll be
but
back.
I enjoy a nice conversation.